When I was filming this, my skin wasn't very happy with me. It was a little bit dry and irritated. So the first thing I did is I applied a moisturizer, and I mainly applied it where my skin gets quite dry. I mainly get dry along the cheeks, a little bit above the bridge of the nose, and then a tiny little bit on my forehead. So I just made sure to apply the moisturizer there, and then rub it into my skin. Before I do anything else, I'm going to apply lip balm, that way it has time to sink in before I do anything else. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply foundation, and I'm just going to put a few dots where I need it. I don't want too much on my skin. As usual, I'm going to be using my fingers to blend this in, but you can go ahead and use a brush too if that's what you prefer. Or you could even go over last with a brush just to stipple it in and then blend in the edges so that there isn't a line between your cheek and your neck. Then I'm going to fill in the brows. I'll be using an MUA black eyeshadow, but you can use whatever suits you better. And I'm just going to be filling in the sparse areas. If it doesn't need to be filled in, I'm just going to leave it alone. There's no point putting product where it isn't needed. And once I've filled that in, I'm going to go for my favourite black eyeshadow and do a tiny little bit of a cat eye to the winged eyeliner. Not a huge cat eye, but a little bit thicker on the outer corner than I would normally go for if it was just winged eyeliner. So before I do the actual line on the outer corner of my eye, I just want to thicken it up a little bit and then bring that line out. I'm then going to connect it to the lower lid. And then with whatever's left on the brush, I'm just going to run that through the lashes on the lower lid and make sure that line's connected to the upper winged liner. Now of course, once I'd done this, I had to add some rhinestones. I couldn't have this without a rhinestone, so I'm just going to place that on the thickest parts of the winged eyeliner. With the cream liner, I'm going to line the waterline, and then I'm also going to do exactly the same to the inner corner of the eye, and then also just get that patch I missed right on the upper lid. Fill it in, and then I'm going to blend it out with my finger and a brush. Now for this one I prefer to use my finger because I find it blends a little bit better. But I'm also just going to bring it right along the line on the upper lid because I've got a few veins there, and just for once I'd like to have it a little bit covered, whereas normally I don't mind too much, but for today, I wanted to cover it up a little bit. Then I'm going to be using a Kiko eyeshadow stick for blending that out with my fingers and a brush. And then taking the same cream liner and going over that just so that it's slightly less shimmery and a bit more subtle, and blending it out. Just for once, I'm going to go ahead and use a mascara, primarily on the lower lashes. And then after that, I'm going to be using a concealer, and one which is slightly paler than my own skin tone, just underneath the eyes. I'm going to blend it out with my fingers and a blending brush. On the outer corner of my mouth, I'm going to use that same cream eyeliner just to make sure that the edge is really neat so I can get the lipstick absolutely perfect and in a really crisp line. And then I'm going to use this absolutely beautiful colour from OCC, and I'm just going to fill in the entire lip. Now once I've done that, I'm just going to take a piece of tissue and press it over the lips just so that I can get rid of any excess product, because any of the OCC lip tiles, if there's too much of it, it's going to bleed everywhere and you don't want that. So I'm just going to remove any excess product, and then I'm going to take a dark red lip liner and I'm going to run that along the centre of the lips and then just on the outer corner so you get a very slight ombre effect, and then blend it together. And I'm just going to finish off with a mixture of a light peach and a pink blush on the apples of my cheeks and blend it a little bit further up the cheekbones. Add some false lashes and that's it, you're done.